Okay, you guys, this thing is all put back together. I thought since we got our new Isky needleless lifters in this thing, all right, I just wanted to give you guys an update since I haven't posted for so long. Last Saturday's race ended up being a bust. I got this thing all put back together. I went to start it up and it had no spark. And if you guys recall, I've been fighting a Gremlin with this thing for probably about a year now, where we thought it was carburetors. I thought it was ignition all along. Something changed where it had this stumble and almost a bog, like it was still on the rev limiter, the starting line rev limiter, when it would leave the line. And then it would just take off and run good. The ugly ignition problem reared its ugly head on Friday afternoon, and I was supposed to race Saturday morning. I've been working 14-hour days. The work schedule is absolutely insane right now, and I was just too tired to deal with it. I was like, oh, good grief. I was just ready to start it up with the new lifters in it and make sure everything was good to go, heat cycle it, check all the valve clearances, and it had no spark. Apparently, the crank trigger is dead. The magnetic pickup, which is kind of hard to see, but maybe I can get a camera on that right there, the red bracket. So I have one of those ordered, and I ordered a coil right there. And hopefully that takes care of the problem. I hope it's not my ignition box, because I don't even think they make this box anymore. It's all got to be programmed with a computer. This one is the old one that you can program with the screwdriver on the ends here. I keep this little dinky screwdriver in the car, and it's even an MSD screwdriver. Anyway, these little dials on the end, this is how I set my high rev limit and my starting line rev limited. See, I can't even talk. I'm so tired. It's Friday morning. And yeah, I'm exhausted, overwhelmed with work. And so I feel bad because I haven't posted. But like this car, we just did a complete four-wheel disc brake conversion and added power brakes. I built a 12-bolt posi rear end for this car from scratch. I had a bare housing, so I put a 12-bolt in it while we were at it. But they just bought the car, and so they're just trying to clean it up some. And I'm waiting for the bracket that goes right here so I can put a factory fan shroud. I'm probably going to have to ditch that fan because it's too big, so it'll fit in the factory shroud, and then that'll take care of their heating problem. I don't know why people think going away from the factory setup is a good idea, but it's not. Factory setup worked fine as long as you had a shroud. So there's the update. And like I said, we masked the problem by taking a bunch of fuel away. We lowered the floats and lowered the fuel pressure, and just, tried to figure out what the heck was going on. We pulled the carbs apart and replaced all the gaskets, all the floats, the needle and seats, all that stuff, and just tried to make sure everything was working right. But there's so much overlap. The cam is so big in this thing that the intake valve is barely closed when ignition happens. Like, the valve closes and like 40 degrees later, the ignition happens. And so there's a lot of reversion going back up into the intake manifold because the piston is literally coming up on the compression stroke and the intake valve isn't closed yet. So it's pushing air back up into the intake manifold. Well, if you don't have good ignition, it's not going to be pulling fuel down through the carburetors. You're going to have your wide open throttle sitting on the starting line on the trans brake, and that reversion, or that piston coming up with the intake valve still open, is pushing air up out of the carburetors. The carbs are actually trying to flow backwards unless you have good ignition and it's, pulling the air through the motor, which it wasn't doing. And so that's why we thought it was a fuel problem. I made a pass with no hood scoop once. We saw fuel come clear up into the vent hoses, and we're like, oh, well, there's our problem. But that wasn't the problem. It's been ignition the whole time. And so we're going to get that solved. I'm super bummed I missed the race. That's 2 in a row, and we have a really limited schedule. And like I said, we're so dang busy right now. I was exhausted. I couldn't do another thing. And when it didn't work the night before, I was like, I'm done. I'm not going. So, and I've never run these before. We're going to run it with the valve covers off so we can really see what's going on. I also want to see how fast it oils the top end, because the lifter body was a different height than the old ones. So I just want to make sure there's nothing weird going on. I had previously spun the oil pump down here, and it did oil up through the push rods. I saw oil actually coming off the rock arms, just turning the pump. So I'm fairly confident we're going to be okay. And some asked in the comments the time before I ran this with the valve covers off, how we didn't light the towels on fire. Well, I need to make a blooper reel. Because, yep, we lit a towel on fire. So anyway, here goes nothing. Let's see how this thing runs with these new lifters, and hopefully everything goes good. I'm a little nervous. We got no fire. We've got our coil wire on in here. Yeah, there's no spark. Hey, you guys that have been following along, remember that I was struggling with what I thought was some kind of an ignition gremlin, which never really was completely figured out. I got done putting the lifters in, and I had no ignition, no spark. So I got my tire pressure gauge down there. The coil wire is off the coil. Watch this thing. Let me zoom in on that. This trouble. That thing's got spark coming in every which direction. Off the coil tower, it's coming out of the wire, the wiring underneath right there. Watch that. Crazy. I got spark everywhere on that thing. So I think we just found our problem. But anyway,